Kayla, and I am one half of your cruising chicks. With you, my mom.
Hi guys.
Her name is Tammy, but I'm gonna call her mom because, well, she's my mom. And I know I say mom really strangely.
You do.
And it's just how I say it. I don't understand. I am from South Carolina. I don't know anybody else who says mom like mom. But I digress. So today we're going to hit some questions that I have always wanted to ask a first-time cruiser.
And that would be me.
She went on her first cruise in December on the Mardi Gras with us. I'm sure you guys got snippets of her in our vlog. I know her and her husband were the ones dancing on the first day. And then she was the one who said, it was great!
Oh, yep. Loser.
So, I have a list of 10 questions that I am going to ask her just so we can kind of get the feeling of how a first-time cruiser felt after their first cruise. And I know, it's been a while, but you guys, I just finished the vlog. So, I couldn't ask her these questions before I finished putting up the vlog.
Right.
I'm a slow editor. I got a new camera, I got a new editing system. We've had this conversation, guys. Anyway, I digress. So question number 1. Did you experience any seasickness?
I actually did not.
She's so lucky.
I know, that ship was, I think, too big.
It was too big?
Too big.
It was very...
I mean, I did every once in a while feel a rock, but I never got really sick. I did come prepared, though.
She did. But the bigger the ship, the less likely I feel like it is to move. You feel the movements. Sometimes on the top decks, you can kind of feel the sway, but I feel like the Mardi Gras is pretty thick. Is like the word I want to use. She's kind of thick, so kind of stops the wind from moving her so much. So question number 2. What did you think overall of the Mardi Gras?
Oh, she was beautiful, guys. Absolutely. For the first time being on that big of a ship, and I was just taken back. I was like looking everywhere, wanting to go everywhere.
I know, I joked with her that when we went on our first cruise, you know, the original cruising chicks, this is an honorary cruising chick today. We went on the Monarch of the Seas, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever stayed on the Monarch or her sister ships, but she was the needy little bitty thing. But we still were like, oh, this is great. And we still were like, this is the biggest ship in the entire world. Until the second year when we came up against the Oasis, and we were like, didn't know they got bigger. We had no idea. And so for your first cruise, we took you on the biggest ship Carnival has to offer. Yep,
and she was beautiful, guys.
Had to offer. So, we went to 3 ports while we were on this cruise. I wish it had a little bit more, but that's just me. So, what did you think of Nassau?
Okay, well, Nassau, it was okay. I mean, it had the beautiful beaches, and but we did do an all-inclusive at, I think it was like a hotel.
It was Breeze's Resort.
Yeah, and we did get to go to the water. It was too cold to get in, but we had a good time despite that. I mean, I didn't get to see a whole lot of the island.
Right.
But I would go back.
Yes. So unfortunately, we take her, and Nassau is under full construction. Full construction of the port. I mean, everything is torn down. You can't see anything, and like there is no port area, and it was just kind of like a jumbled mess. We couldn't find taxis, like, so unfortunately, we bring you to Nassau your first time, and it's kind of a mess. Right. But it's finished now, and it's gorgeous, so we'll have to go back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what did you think of Amber Cove?
Okay, now Amber Cove happened to be my favorite port. Not only did I get to do another bucket list, which is swim with the dolphins, I just find that the scenery was beautiful. Though we took a little bus over to the excursion place, and unfortunately I can't remember where it was, but the guide was absolutely knowledgeable, and he was funny, and he was joking around with us. And then when we get there, we got to swim with the dolphins, we got to do the sea lions,
And snorkel.
So we had to do a little snorkeling, and then we got to watch people feed the sharks, which is something I probably would not do.
Oh, I would do.
But
You guys know that.
yeah. And overall, and they had a great gift shop, and the whole area was just beautiful. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Dominican Republic is gorgeous, especially that side with the trees and the greenery.
Yes.
You know, that's where they filmed Jurassic Park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's right. You know, it's funny because I told this story in the cab where we were going to our excursion, and Crystal goes, yeah, we've had this discussion. I was like, yeah, I forgot the entire family wasn't with us now. So I'm just telling you again.
There you go.
So, last port. What did you think of Grand Turk?
Now, Grand Turk, it was fun. Again, we did another excursion. I think we all got a little tipsy.
I told you guys I thought it was Jeff.
It was.
With the Mai Tais. Jeff is my stepdad, Tammy's husband. Obviously. Like, y'all needed that clarification. And I told you guys when I was filming the Mardi Gras wrap-up that I was almost 100% positive it was Jeff that started the Mai Tais.
Mai Tais.
And she verified that it was. And,
yeah.
Well.
And then with Grand Turk too, they I feel that they had the best colored water.
Yes.
It was very clear, very blue. Wasn't as cold as Nassau.
Right.
Oh, well, I don't know, because I don't even think we got in the water at Nassau.
We put our toes in.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
It was freezing.
But you know, if you got the Hesses in the water in Grand Turk, that the water was warmer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, overall, I mean, Grand Turk would be out of these three ports. It would be Amber Cove, Grand Turk, and then Nassau.
It's a good.
But Nassau can redeem themselves next time I go.
Right. That is very true. So, what was the best part of this cruise for you?
Other than, like I said, swimming with the dolphins, because that is definitely my to-do list. Well, it was on, yes, that's all I talked about.
Trust me, when I swam with the dolphins for the first time, that's all I could remember about our cruise. Exactly. I was like, yeah, we swam with dolphins. That's what are you talking about? We swam with dolphins. I don't remember.
Yeah, we even paid for the pictures for that.
So did I. Don't worry. So did I.
Other than that, I think it was just actually going on my first cruise and spending it with the family.
It's a big family, y'all. Big family.
Yeah, there was a lot of us.
So, I know it was your first cruise. Mm-hmm. And I know I've talked to you a bit about cruise directors before, but did you find that you liked and enjoyed Kendall Fire?
Oh, absolutely. She was very energetic, always on the go, constantly getting, letting you know things. I didn't have any like personal interactions with her,
right?
But I did feel that I was included,
right?
You know, in her announcements and getting you all hyped up and stuff. So I think she did really good.
Yeah.
But especially for my first cruise.
I forget that you did not join our Family Feud debacle and get to spend 20 minutes talking to Kendall and becoming friends with Kendall and knowing Kendall, and then when you see her out in public, you're like, Kendall, and she's like, the Carolina Cruisers, and you're like, that's me.
There you go.
So she's very personable, very sweet lady. So next question, would you sail again?
Absolutely. Yep.
She liked it. I've heard. I would say, like, since I kind of put this together, I booked everybody, I got everyone going. I was the most worried about you guys, you and Jeff, enjoying yourselves. You know, like I knew Lisa and Brian and Grayson and Dylan and Todd would have fun. They've done it. They've been there.
Right.
But I was so worried that we were gonna drag you guys along and you were gonna hate cruising. Especially like you guys, like, oh, she'll be fine. Jeff, I was a little worried about, but Jeff seemed to have a good time too.
No, he did, and we did like the fact that there was a lot of times on the ship when we cruised that we did a lot with the family, but we were also able to just go on our own and just do whatever we wanted to do. Go to whatever shows, go hang out on the, I think it was deck 6 that we always hung out at the bar, and we just did our own thing. And
yeah, so. But we all got together for cornhole.
Always.
Cornhole was very serious Christmas tradition.
Yes.
So, now, would you want to try a different cruise line?
I probably, even though right now Carnival is obviously my favorite. It's the only one I've been on. But I would like to try like different ones, especially if they're going to like different ports. I mean, y'all are going to Alaska, and I think you're using a different one,
yes, we're going Norwegian.
So if they were going to say, I should not say afford.
Hey, it's expensive.
Right.
Alaska is expensive.
Yeah. Like to go to Alaska, or even if we could find a cruise, and have the whole time off to go, say, to the Italy or to the Europe side, and it's a different cruise line, I would be obviously up for that as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, ports are important, y'all.
Absolutely.
Some people will say they're not, but to me, I book ports over ship every time.
Oh, yeah, I would think you would want to.
Some people book for ships.
That's weird.
Some people book for ships. And I mean, some people have been everywhere.
Right.
And they're just like, I want the biggest, the baddest, the newest, the coolest.
Well, I can see that.
To give me that. So did you have any complaints or low moments on the cruise? On the cruise.
Something like Capri.
Right. We went to Capri.
Not really. The only complaint that I would have is just the embarkation.
The debarkation.
Yeah, and I believe it's probably because we just didn't know what we were doing. Right. And it's, being our first time, and it was a huge ship and it had a lot of people on that ship.
There were a lot of people on the ship, and I've been on 19, and debarkation is still like the biggest stressor for me. And there were so many people who wanted to self-debark on this cruise. Like, I guess because it was Christmas Eve, maybe they had early flights, maybe they just had long drives, they wanted to be home for Christmas morning, that so many people self-debarked. Like, I think we heard mention, like, okay, normally, like, on a normal cruise that I've been on, like, maybe 100 people, maybe 200 if you're feeling frisky, decide to debark, like, self-debark. And on this cruise, I would say almost half the ship decided to self-debark. It was a madhouse. And, we turned platinum recently, so we were able to go to the platinum waiting area, and we were, taken from there out to debark, but like the rest of everybody is patiently or impatiently waiting on all of these self-debark people to get off so that they can start calling numbers.
Right.
And it took a long time from what I, because we are normally off the ship by like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we didn't even get off until closer to 9.
Yeah, and I think we were a little bit after that.
Yeah, so, and and we get off before the numbers start getting off. So right. it was a madhouse.
Yes.
And I, even like Kendall, like, because like Kendall and like a lot of the fun squad were in like the platinum area when we were debarking, and they were like, I've never seen this many people self-debark. This is nuts. This is crazy. Like, we should have capped this. Like, we should have thought that through. And so I think they were learning lessons as they were doing it, which is great because, maybe now in the future, at some point they're going to be like, sorry, we can't take any more self-debarks, or we're going to have to self-debark, call some numbers, self-debark, something to change it up because it was a lot.
Right.
And it can be overwhelming.
Right. And I think as a first-time cruiser, not knowing all that and then having the extra, it was a little frustrating. Yeah. Because we didn't know what was going on. I mean, me and my husband was up, I think, on deck 6, sitting in there by the elevators waiting for them to say, hey, you can go. And then we weren't getting any information, and we were like, what do we do? I think I'm more panicked or an anxiety attack, trying to get off.
Yes, because I know even Kendall was saying, like, oh my gosh, we have to make an announcement. Like, we have to say something to these people because normally it's never that quiet. Like, normally you're hearing, like, okay, if you have number this and this, okay, if you have number that, you're moving. But unfortunately, they just had so many self-debarks, they didn't know what to do with themselves. And they were running themselves ragged. Right.
But that in itself would not stop me from doing it again. Oh, absolutely. So
we've had some crazy debarks. I mean, like, people having drugs and having to go to jail debarks, okay? So if I can handle that and get back on,
yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll be fine. So we're gonna just wrap this up with can you tell us your favorite cruise story, cruise memory, cruise whatever from this cruise. Obviously your only cruise, because why else would I be asking you a cruiser question?
Yeah. I think the most fun that we had, especially I had, was actually just watching them do the Family Feud and their answers and hot coals.
Hot coals. What was the other one? Y'all, I asked Todd for an answer, and he said, I was like, lion? Is like a lion good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, thanks, Todd. And I was like, lion. And then he looks at me like, that was a bad answer. And I'm like, Todd! You said yes! Like, if he didn't understand my...
Yeah, and they were definitely robbed.
That's what we've heard. The entire ship told us that, like, I think every day. Yeah. They'd be like, it was the Carolina Cruisers. You guys won! And I'm like, actually, I think we were... Well, welcome to the party. I was like, actually, I think we're kind of glad that we did not go to Fast Money because we were all a panicked mess.
Yeah, but y'all were so funny to watch. I don't think I stopped laughing.
Oh, good. I'm glad we were enjoying, because we were up there. Dylan and I were up there like, like looking at each other like, we good?
Yep.
Are we good? Are we good? And then I'm like, the fun squad member was like standing like to my left, like off the stage, and I just kept looking at her like, am I good? Am I good? She's like, you're doing good. I'm like, am I good? She's like, so I needed constant reassurance to be on the stage. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. This was we're doing like a little mini series of guests on the Cruising Chicks.
Yeah.
So now we just gotta get the Hess family down here.
Yep.
Just rotate them through. Everyone, get in your spot. Let's go. All right, guys. Well, we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.